everybody, it's talking into a microphone. Ha! Hey! Ha! Hoo! Ha! I have somebody else here that's not my wife. This is Jordan Duggar here, and lifelong friend, best friend my whole life, I guess.
Possible alien.
Possibly. Let's see, what, first grade? When was that when was the boys club summer?
Man, I think we were probably in like third or fourth grade
Okay.
when we first met because we didn't go to the same grade school.
No, I was east, you're west.
Yep.
Bethalto East, that is. I'm sure everybody knew that, especially the people listening to this in Indonesia. My big shout out to my Indonesian people.
Hey,
Anyways,
good people there.
yeah, there's a lot of people in Indonesia. In India, there's a lot of people.
It's good surf there too.
Is there really?
Well, and
Oh, Indonesia, yeah, yeah, Indonesia. That makes sense. What are the spots in Indonesia? Because there's popular ones.
No clue.
No,
I
there
just heard that.
But there is a popular spot though. Like the surf spots, Hawaii is that. What's the one called?
The Outer Banks is
Pipeline
the one,
or
the
something?
Pipeline. Yep.
Okay, Pipeline. Because I watched that Apple surfing show. I don't know if you watched that at all.
Yeah.
That was really
caught a
good.
little bit of it.
That was really good. I wish they would have kept making that because that got me into actual surfing and I knew the surfers and I actually wanted to watch events, which was great because most of them were on YouTube. But yeah, I don't even know where I got off on that. Oh yeah,
This is
Indonesian surfing spots.
Yeah. This is how our conversations usually go.
Yeah,
Like when we're on the phone with each other.
right.
We just tend to just drift off into the most ridiculous things on the face of the earth.
Yeah, like
yeah.
surfing. But shout out to Apple. That was a really good show. I really liked it.
Kelly Slater, he was one of the most like prodigious surfers who was like kind of made it popular. He was from Florida, which is not really like a surfing community, but he was one of those guys who really brought surfing onto the map.
And then he moved to Hawaii because doesn't he?
Oh,
He
yeah,
lived. He's
yeah.
definite out in Hawaii now.
Oh yeah, for
Had a
sure.
kid. They got a kid.
Yeah.
Him and his beautiful wife. They got
Yeah.
a kid. Just
Dated
recently.
Pam Anderson for a while too.
Really?
Which is
Who
incredibly
did she
weird.
not date? Kid Rock. She married Kid Rock twice, I think.
I think twice.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. They're married for a while, or were they married twice?
It could have been one or the other.
Tim Allen.
She married Tim.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Married. Okay, so who else was she?
You could have convinced me on that.
Because then you're like, she was on Home Improvement.
It's one of those things where it's like, it sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it could have been. She was the first Heidi.
Yeah, that's right. And then Carmen Electra, I think, was actually one who was on Home Improvement for a little while.
Right.
I think.
And then they switched to whoever the most recent one was, whoever that lady was. Dennis Rodman was married to, or I don't know, married, but Carmen Electra.
Yeah, I think so.
Dennis Rodman.
What a life.
Yeah. Hell
It's
of a rebounder.
amazing he's still alive.
Hell of a rebounder. And he's like praised in North Korea. Like he's like
The fact that he gets just an open door is just like
he can go there whenever he wants, which is wild.
out of all the people in America that you would think might be let into North Korea, Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. And then like he always talks about, he's like, when I go over there, I'm trying to make peace, you know. I was like, don't speak for us.
No, you're not a representative.
You just be you, Dennis. Like that's why you're there.
Talk about basketball.
Yeah, don't set anything up or whatever. We don't need that.
Did you ever watch the movie The Dictator?
But yes, I have. Yes.
That was fantastic. I
Yeah,
hadn't watched
oh,
it
good.
in a long time.
Sony got hit hard with that by
yeah,
hackers.
Yeah, that was the hack
Yeah.
time with that. I forgot about that.
Made him
But
scared.
oh man, that was hilarious. It made me feel a lot better about the relationship between Americans and North Koreans.
Yeah, we're good.
But then all of a sudden, no.
Yeah. Well, they just
No.
the BBC just recently got a cell phone smuggled out of North Korea, and the cell phone has like
You
these.
kidding me?
Yeah, like it's a great story. They got certain words like on the phone, like as soon as you type it in, like there's a block that comes up, and like there's certain things you can only search and on the phone. So it's like somebody like the citizens are completely controlled through even their cell phones and what they're looking at and stuff. So
I mean, I kind of don't doubt that from what I've heard, but
like, shout out to the person who got that out. Like, how the hell did you get a cell phone out of North Korea?
throw it on a kite and
Yeah, I guess
sail it to
so.
another
Like, I guess you
country?
could throw and then somehow get across to get it. I don't know. The BBC got it, so they must have been behind it, or somebody else did all the hard work, and then the BBC's like, here's $1,000, and we're gonna say that we did it.
There was something I saw, just speaking to that, was a submarine that they evidently had damaged, that they were like just threw this gigantic tarp over top of it because they know satellites are coming over top of it.
Oh
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
it.
They were trying to. It was a new big submarine or whatever ship,
Yeah,
and and whenever it was pushed to go in, it got caught up
yeah.
and it broke. And like the people who were in charge of that have all died.
Oh yeah,
Their families have
they're
died.
executed.
Yeah, they went to death
More than
camps.
likely.
Yeah, that's so bad. Yeah, it's all covered up so satellites can. But look, we already saw it happen before they could cover it up.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's very embarrassing. So that sucks for North Korea.
Yeah,
That was their
well,
big ship they've been building for a while, apparently, and like it happened right in front of the dude or whatever his name is.
Kim or
Kim Jong-un?
Which one? Everyone.
He's got a sister.
Speaking
that
of
eventually-
submarines, there's a documentary out now about that. I think it's called The Odyssey. The
Yeah,
one that,
Katie's watching it.
yeah, and it was like 2.5 hours long. So I got about an hour and a half into it.
Dude,
two
I
nights-
saw some stuff.
No,
on
Friday
that.
night, and I was like, all right, it's kind of interesting. This guy, like, my dad worked on carbon fiber and Kevlar on airplanes. And the idea of building something out of carbon fiber to go to the bottom of the sea
The pressure
is the dumbest thing on the face of the earth. I don't
Well,
know how that ever.
I only saw. I didn't. Katie's watching it, so I only saw bits and pieces of it. But what I did see is when they were storing it, they just stored it outside. Like it wasn't even covered up or anything. Just
out in the sun.
outside in the sun, getting rained on during the cold, during the heat.
Yeah, if
Like-
I leave leather out in the sun, it's gonna
Yeah,
deteriorate.
why wouldn't that? If that's something that you're trying to go down and see Titanic, like why wouldn't that be in like a air what am I trying to
like
say?
an air pressure?
Cool-
Like
yeah, like it's like controlled, air controlled environment. Like that doesn't make sense. Like if you would have known, those people would have known all that stuff going into it. I guarantee that it would have been like, you know what? Maybe we don't need to. How about we just send a camera down?
Yeah, the whole thing is a horrible situation, and I mean, I get it. People have that kind of like, you know,
The connection.
attitude to want to go down and explore and everything else like that and take the risk. But I've seen so many pictures of the Titanic.
Right.
I don't need to go down there
what are
and
we
see it
doing?
in person.
If we haven't figured out a way to just pick it up, let's just pick it up. How about we just pick it up? Bring it up.
Yeah.
You know what? Bring it up. At
Listing
this point,
straps. Let's
yeah.
just
At
raise
this
it from the
point,
bottom.
let's slowly start bringing it up. We have the technology. Go down there and bring it up, and then now we can all look at it. But we won't do that because it's like a grave for the people that passed
Well,
away.
and yeah, I think it technically is. It's like a there's some kind of like legal thing where you put it as like not a grave site necessarily, but
Cemetery.
yeah,
And
kind
the
of that same
sea.
kind of thing where you can't disturb it. You can't
sea
take anything
cemetery.
from it. Yeah, sea
A sea cemetery.
Sea cemetery.
Sea cemetery.
Sea cemetery.
Yeah, that's the Titanic Sea Cemetery. That's over here.
So, dude, with you, what's been going on lately? I mean, I know we get together on the phone every now and then and shoot the breeze from time to time, but
Yeah.
you guys have been doing really well with this. You and Katie.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching your guys' stuff, and you guys have been doing awesome.
It's been fun. This whole studio-ish thing that we got going down here has been a nice little escape, when it comes to the upstairs, I guess, of our house. And it's fun. I've been begging her to get on and do like a podcast just to talk because she's really funny. And
is.
once we and her started doing it together, she finally was like, you know what, I actually want to just do one on my own. And like that was the whole point. I wanted you to get on here
That's
and do
awesome.
that. So like I'm very happy she's finally doing that. That's really cool. This whole studio, I want more in here. I want to actually build a studio in
Yeah.
here to have our own little closed off area. Got a
Alex
window
Campbell, we
here.
need your help.
Soup, yeah, Soup would definitely want to be involved in that. That's somebody else that I want to bring in for this kind of podcast. Also, talk to him, see what he's up to.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very busy individual. He's got a lot going on.
Last time I was at Alex's house, I had a turkey fly in front of my face.
Yeah, doesn't he have his one?
He's got
But he
two
might have two. I know he has 2 cows, turkey,
Well, that's the last time I was
pig.
over there. He might have more.
Possibly. Yeah,
But no,
chickens.
going back to that, like watching you guys, watching you, and then you and Katie kind of evolving through this and expanding this kind of platform that you guys have, it's been really inspiring to me, and it makes me really proud to see like that you found something in broadcasting, especially.
Right. Yeah.
Because I know you come from that background. Like your dad, he was a huge inspiration to me for the longest time.
Right.
You know, I wish I got to spend more time with him.
Well,
but
I mean,
he was fantastic.
he all this here is because of him. Like, you know, we were able to purchase a lot of stuff that we were not be able to purchase before. So it's like honestly, this is his studio when it comes to the computer, the microphones, and all that stuff. We made sure we got the good stuff, and now we can say, you know, he can live on through us, you know, and that's why he's got a picture right here. Yeah, there he is, right there.
Yeah.
A younger one of the WBGZ days. But yeah, kind of, you know, you feel his presence a lot of time when I'm down here recording and stuff and chopping up audio and going through his old photos and stuff, which is, you know, it's pretty cool. You come across a lot of these audio, especially these here. This is the final countdown, 1993-1994 CM basketball. So
Oh, my Lord.
he cut up all the recordings from like the basketball games that year from the WBGZ, like the highlights, and then
didn't know-
mixed it in to where it's like a whole highlight tape.
They were broadcasting CM basketball on WBGC.
Yeah, they still do it now. Like you can still
they
catch
really?
high school basketball games, you know, getting recorded. But like they
I had
had,
no idea.
so like he would get those, cut up the highlights, and then do like, and then in this game, blah da 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 dee dee dee, and this guy did this.
awesome,
Yeah, so like he did that and then handed it out to the high school kids that year, which I remember that as a kid. But like finding that kind of stuff has been really cool. But yeah, this whole thing started, I think, 2.5 years ago. I started Lonnie Dukes, and I got all the way up to become a YouTube partner. Got 66,000 subscribers,
You got hacked though, didn't you?
and then I got hacked. Yeah, I got hacked and I lost everything.
Don't even get that. How that like
Sucks.
I'm just so unintelligent when it comes to that. How do you get hacked on YouTube and then you lose everything from YouTube?
Yeah, so they changed everything, like my YouTube password, name, everything, like the email associated with it.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, so every tour I couldn't get in it, and then like, this sucks, is horrible. So like I was trying to get 100,000 because I got up to 66. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
you
god,
were-
I'm actually gonna get
I
that.
know you were climbing.
So and then got hacked, and then I was in a depression mode for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, you know what, fuck that, I'm just gonna go ahead and start it again. So I started it again, got up to 200, and then I got YouTube told me since I'm using an email associated with an email that's been hacked and has done horrible things on YouTube, whatever that person was doing, that I can't have it with. So then I got that one got deleted.
There might
So I'm
be
like,
some.
damn it, dude. Like, I just want to make content. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to do a new one, K&D Society. And then, so now I'm coming up on 11,000 subscribers. I got 5.5 million views since November.
That's awesome, man. Like,
So just still grinding, getting back at it. But this was the main thing. I really wanted to do podcasts with like you, come on here and hop on, especially if you could get it to where you can set it up at your house.
Yeah.
And we can have like a split screen where we're talking, you know.
Yep.
That would be awesome. I want to talk to Soup. I think that would be a good conversation. But coming on here and just shooting the shit
I'll
is
pull
something
everything
that I
off
like
of,
to do.
My recording setup that I have for my guitars and stuff like that. Like I'll just yank that off because I play guitar like a chimpanzee. So there's nothing that I really need to record with that. Maybe my voice is a little bit better than my guitar playing. I hope it is. But I think my commentary is definitely better than my guitar playing. But I was going to ask you too. We were talking last week, or last weekend. Actually, I think a week from today. What happened with Chelsea?
Chelsea won.
They did.
So they beat Nottingham Forest, so they're in top 4, which is awesome. It was the youngest team to ever get top 4 in Premier League history. And then they went on to play in the Conference League Championship, and they won 4-1.
So, are you watching the games live? Like,
Yes.
And what time? Because like,
So
they're
most
7 hours ahead of us,
yeah,
right?
6.
Like, 6. Okay.
So like which is great because like my weekend games, because I usually play on either Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
The Saturday or Sunday games could possibly either be 6:30 in the morning, which
Yeah.
is awesome because I'm up drinking coffee watching it, and then the game's over for the rest of the day. Or it
You're
might
the
be
only
at 1
person
o'clock.
that I can call at 6:30 in the morning.
I've already been up for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I can't sleep past like 5:30.
Yeah.
Like, that's just me. But like on a weekend, if I want to talk to someone, you're the only person
up.
that I can call.
Yep, I'm up. I'm not doing shit. I'm drinking coffee, hanging out in the basement, probably watching Trailer Park Boys again, like randomly. Keep watching that show. That and Eastbound and Down. Those are the 2 shows that I just put on. I'm like, all right, I'll start from the beginning.
Now, one of our good friends, Mike Ryder, also here from Bethalto, if you want to call somebody at 3:30 in the morning who's still awake and hasn't gone to bed, Mike is usually the guy to call.
Yeah, that's late.
He loves to stay up late. You call him at 10 o'clock in the morning on a weekend, that ain't happening. He ain't answering.
He's sleeping.
So Chelsea is now in Champions League.
So the next year they'll be in Champions League.
Next year,
because that's what you play for. Each year you play for the place next year.
God, I don't understand.
I know that part's kind of confusing. So we are competing this year. We finished top 4. So the top 4 teams of each top European league plays in Champions League the next year. So that's how it's decided who's playing in that. So like we got top 4 this year. We're in Champions League. If next year we get 6th place, we're not playing in Champions League the following year, which sucks. So you always constantly want to be in top 4 so that you can compete in the Champions League.
I have no idea how you got into this, and I don't understand.
It's so
a damn word.
Yeah.
What you just said.
It's so
American
confusing.
sports are so much more simple.
because you have league games. So that's
semifinals, quarterfinal, or
and then
quarterfinals.
These cups. It's the cups, like because now they got this one coming up is the Club World Cup, where it's
never heard of that.
It's clubs from the top 4 or 5 of all the clubs in the world. Chelsea is going to play the LA Galaxy in their first group match.
Wait a second. Chelsea is playing an MLS club.
Yeah, and they're in their group match. Yeah, the Club World Cup is in the United States too, so all the games will be on normal times.
It's almost like having the Blues play like the Switzerland.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's what it is.
National team or something.
Wouldn't that? Think about that. So think about it in Champions League. We'll talk about hockey in Champions League. Okay. So the top 4 the top 4 in let's say let's just say the NHL. Top 4 in the NHL.
Let's take Capitals. We'll take Rangers. We'll take Blue.
So we'll say top 4
Panthers.
record and then the Stanley Cup champion. If it's both of them, there's just one. That's just the teams going in. Okay, let's just say the top 4 at the end of the regular season, NHL, and then the Stanley Cup champion. They are going into the Champions League of hockey. So now Switzerland, France, all these other leagues, their top teams go into this tournament. And they go play us over a period of time throughout the season, inside the season. So let's say the Blues are one of those teams, right? And they got a game in Nashville. Excuse me. They have to go to Nashville and play, and then they have to fly to Poland to face whoever over there one game and then fly back because they got a game in Chicago.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
So that's what's going on in soccer.
They kind of did that. What was the World Champions League that they did in NHL or in hockey?
Yeah.
This year it was kind of like.
But that was nationals, right? National teams.
It was almost like a. It was almost like a break for like All-Star break, or an Olympic break.
Which soccer players have that also on top of this other.
And there was quite a few players in the Blues who were. I mean, they were in. I couldn't even tell you how many different nationalities.
There was one nationality we had like 3 or 4 guys on. Was it the Czechs? Or?
I think it was Czechs, maybe.
Swedes.
It could have been, but and the players move so far in between year to year from where they go and where they don't, especially the young ones, know, because they might be somebody who's coming up new in the league and plays for 16 games or something like that throughout the year, and then they get traded or they get put back down into the minors. And I imagine it's the same thing with European football. Like it just has to be like that. Especially because it's so and there's so many people.
There's so much money involved. So the Club World Cup, like this kind of it's been around, but there's a lot of money in it this year, to where like Chelsea is going to get anywhere between $80 to $100 million. Could be off on that. Just competing in it.
So obviously
you're
Chelsea. I know you're a Chelsea fan. Do you have a favorite player?
Of all time?
I mean, currently,
Reece James.
Currently, right now, Reece James.
Yeah, he's been at the club since he's like been 8 or 12 or something like that. Was in the academy, worked his way up. So that would be probably my guy. And James, middle name is James.
What's his position?
He plays right back, so it's the defender. That's all the way on the right side, obviously, but all the way wide out. He's way out there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Way out there.
Thank you.
But his sister also plays for the Chelsea women's team.
Oh, really?
And she's awesome. So it's cool to see the brother and sister playing for Chelsea.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have like a specific hockey player that I could say other than Alexander Ovechkin right now at this point.
Right.
I got to see him hoist the cup. Well, I watched that on TV, but I got to see him the last time he was in St. Louis and played, and the man's a machine.
Yeah.
He's old as hell too. Like he's almost our age.
Yeah, it's like I feel like he could be an alien.
He's probably not human.
Yeah, I don't think there has to be some, maybe not 100% human.
I remember one thing that I watched. He doesn't lift his feet hardly ever while he's out on the ice. He literally has so much strength in his legs that he just literally just like does this pivot back and forth where he just rocks
just
back
so
and forth
strong
and can generate momentum. But he knows the right spots to be, and I imagine it's the same thing with football, like or the European football, where it's like just being in the right place at the right time is
like you could have the most in shape or whatever, but if you don't have like the wherewithal to be in a certain situation when the ball's here, like you're 2 steps ahead of where the ball's supposed to be, like you can't teach that. Yes. That's just something people have, and the good ones, are always in the right position. Like Wayne Gretzky he scored a lot of goals, but there's a reason why he scored a lot of goals, because he knew exactly where to put the puck and where to be. Yeah, like he knew exactly how to score goals because he knew what to do with it, and he was quicker than everybody else. It seemed like.
Well, we talked sports for a bit.
Yeah.
Usually, you and I talk absolute gibberish.
We have a lot of gibberish that were recorded when we were in high school, and before high school, and that is the Lazy Kids. If you have been seeing the random videos of Lazy Kids, and then I put Lazy Kids comedy on some of them. That's not what we called it, but I can't just put Lazy Kids. I have to put something behind it. But yeah, those are our prank calls. We did 4 volumes and then a greatest hits, I do believe.
Yeah. We compiled 4 different CDs that we could record.
We did this.
This was what, 2021 or 20
22, 23, 4, 25 years ago.
24.
Yeah.
Maybe was the last one we did was 2004. I think.
That we were-
Maybe.
that-
That'd be our senior year of high school.
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the last one that we
I would
did.
say, I don't know. I think maybe our last one had to have been junior year.
Probably.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. 20 plus years ago, these were
Yeah.
recorded. And yeah, there's a lot of gold, and there's also a lot of very
It's so much different from
bad.
what you've set up here, and you've got a great setup
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, technology has evolved.
So
Actually,
if
the technology probably wasn't around when we were doing it. We just didn't have
it
our
really
hands
wasn't.
on it.
I mean, if you remember, what we did was it was 2 telephones,
Yep.
and
This
we
is how we
had
recorded our prank calls.
yeah how we actually recorded it, and we had like an old compact Presario desktop computer or something like that,
Yeah.
and I think the microphone was like input, and
Yes.
then we taped it to one of the receivers on one of the phones,
Yeah.
and then the other phone was where we made the calls.
Yes.
It sounds like garbage, most of it, but you can still hear it.
You can still hear it, and then like that's why you couldn't. That's why it sounds the way it does, because obviously we just explained to you the setup, and the setup is not professional and whatsoever. But it is mostly done at like 1 a.m.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
we always called people late at night just because it would piss them off so
Yeah.
much more.
We would always say the best thing was that we would prank people who were selling stuff. So like they're already wanting to get rid of something,
classified ads.
So we go to the classified ads, and no one ever says like don't call past this time. So it's like why would they put that in there? It costs
trying to
them
get rid of
money.
something.
They're trying to get rid of something. So if somebody's selling a van or a couch or whatever,
Goats.
goats. You call them at 3 a.m. and say like, "Hey," and then they go, "Why would you be calling me at this time?" Then you just say, "Sorry, I work late."
Dude, the best thing was Doug.
Like, what?
Doug goes, I just got off work. And I mean, he laid it off just so plain like that. Like the lady was like, it's 2:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
just got off work. God, and then
It's like I don't care if you just got off work. It's 2:30 in the morning. Why are you calling me about my goats?
and you asked to come view them.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's dark. And you go, I got a lot of
I
flashlights.
got a lot of flashlights.
It's just the most ridiculous thing on the face of the earth.
'Cause
Is
I
to think that you're gonna go and
see
review
you.
some livestock with flashlights.
And then I'm gonna buy them. We're gonna buy them right there. We're gonna wait till
cash.
we're gonna wait till light. You know,
No, I'm just gonna throw you straight cash for these.
because like I gotta get a truck in here with a trailer. It's gonna be loud. Like all that stuff would probably be best to do whenever it's like daytime.
No, I mean it was. They were the most ridiculous things that we could have possibly come up with. Again, using the classifieds was like
That was a big
a
one.
go-to.
Yeah.
But then we would call other different businesses and things like that who had like 24-hour service. Dennis Technologies was
Yeah.
one of the best ones. We got to see if we can still find that one. Cause,
Well, yeah. What
was
you brought,
hilarious.
I'm gonna
yeah.
see what I can work
well,
with.
I got the flash drive too with the other ones.
I'm excited to mess around with that.
I was never able to really keep a straight face or really be somebody on the phone to do the calls. I loved coming up with ideas. That was one of the things that I prided myself on was, and I think.
So what
I
you
don't know
doing?
if I
So what
would've-
you doing?
So what you doing? Yeah. That was always the best thing. Is if you got hit at a blank spot with somebody on the call, Doug would always go, "So what you doing?"
Completely change it up.
And it would just completely just disrail everyone who he was talking to. So what you doing? Nothing.
You just called me.
But one of my favorites of yours too, which I hope we can find, and it was genius, is my brakes are out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one. Hopefully we
So
got.
Doug called a brake repair, a car,
Just a car place.
just a car place. Yeah, and I think they
repair
specialize
place.
in brakes. and we had
They say that they say that business at the beginning, but I can always
we'll
put a sound over that.
we'll make sure.
Sound
Again, I think the statute of limitations is
Well,
probably
I don't know
gone,
if you
but-
saw one of the recordings I did. Like there was the Mr. Whitlock one. Whenever he started giving his phone number, I did some kind of effect over here. I added an effect to it. So
that was perfect.
it's like 25 la 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 la
Yeah,
one
la, la, la,
nine.
la, la,
Yeah,
la.
anyways,
yeah. But Doug called, and it's honestly, I think out of almost all of Doug's calls that he did and again, we were
that one was
16, 17
that
years
one got
old.
a real reaction from the guy.
It really did. And he called a brake repair company, and we had the movie Fast and Furious blaring over the stereo in the background
There's
in
a
the room.
scene where they're hijacking the semi. So
Just
like there's just crazy
brakes and
brakes
car
and
horns and
semi
just tires squealing.
accelerations.
It's just so ridiculous. And Doug is screaming at this guy, going, "Hey, my brakes are out. What do I do? What do I do?" And
You
the guy
go-
goes, "Your brakes are out?" Like, and then
It's like, why would you call a repair shop when you're on the highway and your brakes are out? What are they
call
gonna do?
911.
What are they gonna do for you?
It's just the entire premise of it is so ridiculous, and the fact that you got someone to actually have a conversation with you.
What do I do? What do I do?
What
That's
do I
I
do? What do I do? Like, he's gonna know what to tell you, what to do. It's just so ridiculous. Somehow, we ended up getting that guy on the line for a while.
Yeah.
And then it's horrible
Because
to say
all
this,
right.
but at one point you screamed out, "I just hit a kid."
yeah. I know that would have could have been classic if I didn't throw that part in. But then that's when he goes, "All right."
Yeah, all right. And then I think you hung up, or maybe he did. I don't
know.
remember how that happened. But either way, the fact that he was even willing to entertain that conversation for 10
You do what?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
That's what he said.
Like,
I go, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
He goes, you do what? He goes, my brakes are out. He goes, your brakes are out? My brakes are out. What do I do?
The fact that he was even willing to entertain that conversation is just perfect.
Hopefully
But-
that's on this flash drive or
Oh,
this
I pray it
mangled
is.
ass CD here.
And yeah, hopefully again, I'm pretty sure since it's such a long time, we're not going to go to prison for any.
No, it's statute of limitations. It's been 20 plus years. There'll be no numbers given out of who we're talking to or
No.
businesses, so you can't prove it. And it's 20 plus years. So.
Well, and
And we're not doing anything wrong. We also called the businesses back that we talked to back and said, hey, this is a prank. Is it okay that we record this? And they've all said yes. So
Absolutely.
Every single one of them.
Every single
And that
one
was
of them.
20 plus years ago. So I doubt the person that said yes is still working at these businesses. So just leave it at that.
Yeah. That's the best way.
Well, all right. Allegedly.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer. You
No,
wanna keep
I think
rolling,
this is
but
great. This is
I love
usually.
your Howlin' Wolf shirt. By
No,
the way,
but thank
too.
you. Thank you.
very
I
cool.
appreciate it.
You
Got some
might
red
like
stuff
this one.
on it.
Give a props
I'm
to
looking through it here.
Merrimack Springs.
Oh, yes. I still have a tag up there from where we went when we went.
Yeah. Do you ever want to go back there again?
No, I
No.
didn't catch any fish or
No.
see any fish.
Also, I don't want to camp in a tent anymore.
No, I don't.
I've
no.
learned that as I've gotten older.
Katie
You
and I were
are
just talking
getting
about that.
older.
We're like, we're cabin people now. Like, we
Yes.
need to go find stuff where there's cabins.
cabins or get like you can actually rent campers too, which is really nice.
Well, that's even awesome. Like, we were talking about doing that this summer. Like, maybe you guys
I
could,
love air conditioning.
air conditioning, cabins.
I like a bed,
Yeah,
not
right.
an air mattress.
Do you, Pierre Marquette, have you ever gone out there?
Oh yeah.
Can they allow dogs? Do they have dog ones?
Well, you can take dogs out on the trails and stuff.
No,
like
but
that,
I'm talking about those bungalows and stuff that they have there. I think they're dog. Do they have pet
you know,
ones?
I don't know,
Can't remember if they had pet ones or not.
but
Doesn't
great,
matter.
Great place. Doesn't matter.
What I like to end with always is you should listen to the band The Uppers. Travis Schaefer plays the drums. He plays the drums. He's really good. Also, Aaron Kellum. Look up Aaron Kellum music. Aaron comes, the boy, my boy, both two people there, both from Bethalto, out there trying to make music and making it, doing their thing. So you gotta support them. Open doors for people. It's the right thing to do.
Great guys.
This
I played music
hopefully,
with both of them. They're
In-
first people I ever played music with.
and that band was called
The first band was called Told Twice.
Told Twice. I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, a long
Told
time ago.
Twice. But this here, I would love to do again. Maybe we get set up to where at your house we could do the dual thing. You
Yeah,
know?
you're essentially listening to conversations he and I have with each other on the phone, like on random Saturdays or Sundays.
Right,
you
right.
know, so
So this is why it's great. We finally got a chance to sit down and do it in front of a
it
camera.
might be awful to listen to, or it might be great.
It'll be great. And I'm going to clip it up. There'll be multiple clips of the show, so they'll get people in there and they're like, oh my God, that actually is a really funny part. Maybe I should listen to the whole thing. And then they listen to the whole thing and they're like, man, these guys are idiots. Like, what am I doing with my time?
Idiot.
But anyways, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
Thanks for welcoming me.
Hi. Okay, and now I got to stop it right here. I already did, but I didn't stop it on this one. Hi.